match, but this weather today is severely going to test the saturation point of even St Helens. Here we have two teams who are struggling for form, really. Swansea, after a flurry of success at the beginning of the season, have dropped their last three. Newbridge too have been rather inconsistent, and today have got to get over that rather embarrassing defeat against their close rivals and neighbours Cross Keys last weekend. We're here to look at both sides, the composition and the selection. Phil Bennett. Well, Phil, Swansea, a combination of youth and experience.
Yes, experience at number 15 to start, Roger Blythe, still a very fine full-back at about 37 years of age. And it's interesting to see that Swansea have got 4 internationals in their back division, but their pack have got to show greater commitment, as their coach Jeff Herdman says, to enable Robert Jones, who's a very fine passer of the ball, to get the backs moving fluidly. And I think Richard Moriarty, nobody knows where his best position is, playing second row today. We have Paul Moriarty playing at number 8. Now I believe his best position is at flank forward. Let's hope they give the ball to see these fine backs run in with it.
Newbridge, a lot of youth behind the scrum.
I've been very impressed this year with Peter Goodfellow at full-back, who's been outstanding in every game, very good on the high ball, and he should play well in these conditions. And young Paul Williams at fly-half, they said that when Turner went, they would never recover, but this man has settled in very well, and their pack are very, very mobile, and they play with tremendous commitment. I'm sure we can have a marvellous game out there this afternoon.
The two locks, Ian Danaher and Chris Jarman, a little bit untried as a combination so far.
Yes, and this is where Richard Moriarty should really dominate. But I'm sure they are untested. But in the games I've seen them play, they've played with tremendous pride, Newbridge, and I'm sure they'll do the same this afternoon.
And in charge of this afternoon's match, Clive Norling. Swansea to start, Roger Blythe, no doubt a long kick. Paul Williams. And a nice kick from the youngster from St Henry against the wind. Newbridge going against the wind in the first half. Moriarty waiting in the middle. His brother, Paul at the back. Moriarty, Jones, Dacey. And a deft little touch from Malcolm Dacey, the outside half, realising that the cover was adequate. Paul Ranson and Newbridge having to be satisfied with living inside their own 22 in these opening exchanges. Going for Danaher, but Swansea have it. Malcolm Dacey. Number 22, Kevin Hopkins. Waiting for the back row support, it's there. No knock on, so it's David Richards having a second attempt. And the ruck ball set up once again, but Newbridge look as if they've got an interest in this possession as well. So a great deal of responsibility on Hewlett, Ranson and Cripps, the Newbridge front row. He did well to get one against the head a couple of seconds earlier. Well, untidy possession, but the pass coming from Tim Collins, and Newbridge survive once again and move outside the 22. Still no score as Hutchins aims for Dick Moriarty. Robert Jones, Malcolm Dacey, this other man, David Richards to Titley. But the tackle from Peter Goodfellow was a good one, but Swansea still have it. Moriarty, David Richards, and in the middle we find Hutchins, the hooker, to Malcolm Dacey on the far side of Danny Williams. Over the 22, but the support isn't there. Crandon is there for Newbridge, but the ball is still alive. Will Swansea come here once again? But a forward pass indicated, and so a set scrum, but the pressure back on Newbridge once again. A well-controlled heel by Swansea. Robert Jones anticipating a back row move. And it's 6s and 7s at the moment. First one to the try line, and a try. Paul Moriarty, the try scorer. And so first blood to Swansea, and the Swansea number 8.
Very good play by Swansea. They've spun the ball wide. Look at that little dummy by Robert Jones to take the back row, take him off guard. But good wheeling by Swansea. There's Paul Moriarty controlling the ball well. They've wheeled the Newbridge scum, and that's the key to it. Still under control, driving him back. and that they seem to lose control there, but here it comes, and there's Paul Moriarty going down to claim the try. Excellent play by the forwards.
Paul Moriarty and Neil James at the back of the line. Cheeseman, Robert Jones squirming his way through. Moriarty to Mark Davis. Swansea is still desperate to get good clean possession, but they're driving through. Back it comes eventually to Chris Phillips, and I must say that Chris Phillips must have seen Robert Jones coming, but the scrum half was quick onto it. So pressure throw in for Paul Ranson. One slip and it could be Swansea's second try. Not this time, however. So an attacking scrum for Robert Jones and Swansea, controlled by Paul Moriarty. Moriarty goes, but has he got there? No, indeed, unsighted, so up they get and back they go. And Moriarty hunting for his second try of the afternoon. Robert Jones, and this time it's Moriarty. Is it his second try? Indeed it is. 2 tries to Moriarty.
And Jeff Herdman, the Swansea coach, asked for more commitment from his forwards, and he's certainly getting this afternoon. Good scrum ball. There's Robert Jones dashing off to take the Newbridge back row with him. And Paul Moriarty picks up well, and he's a metre or so from the line, and he dives over for a nice try, his second of the afternoon.
2 tries then to Swansea, 2 to Paul Moriarty. Trevor Cheeseman and Ian Danaher behind him. Danaher playing his second game from Newbridge this afternoon. And a shortened line-up by Swansea this time, but to no avail. Well, they do have it eventually. Trotman, rather wildish pass to Roger Blythe. And Crandon kicks it forward. Jeff Howells is there and chasing hard. Kevin Hopkins is there. Titley comes across, and Titley just about gets a foot to it. So a good position this for Newbridge. Only some 5 metres. That's the corner flag. Ranson. And it comes back on the Newbridge side. Picked up by Hewlett. Oliver Williams. Nicely done. Back inside. Have they got a try? Indeed they have.
Newbridge struggling for line-out ball so far. Win this one, although it's bad ball. The prop Gary Hewlett does very, very well, because he goes in and he cleans it up there. And Newbridge drive over the ball very, very well to leave it free eventually for the scrum half. And just look for some lovely play here from Paul Williams, the fly half. Lovely dummy, cuts inside, leaves a few defenders, and there's another fly-in hooker in Paul Ranson, and he's over for an excellent try.
Robert Jones, Malcolm Dacey. That's meant for the 2 centres, and there they go. Hopkins and Richards. Pick up eventually by Moriarty, and to his brother on the far side. I'm sure he'll get there. Has Clive Morling awarded the try? No, indeed.
Swansea varying their play this afternoon. Malcolm Dacey running at times and then putting a beautiful eye up and under here. And for some reason, Peter Goodfellow seems to draw back out of the ball. Swansea get there, the centres do well to pick up the ball, and it's odds on that when the ball reaches Richard Moriarty that he's going to get a try. But there's an excellent tackle in the corner, and he hits the corner flag as he goes over.
That was the last incident of the first half. We rejoined the game now a little into the second half. Hutchins, Moriarty, Jones, Dacey, Richards, Hopkins, Blythe, Danny Williams on the halfway line. Jeff Howells, no indeed, Paul Williams doing some splendid covering the outside half. Danny Williams into the movement that time, and Swansea content to run this ball right from the beginning of the second half. Ranson won his 22. Swansea have it once again. Moriarty, Robert Jones, Dacey, drop goal. No, it's going way to the right. Good fellow underneath it. In the left boot with the wind and gaining some advantage. A two-man line then from Swansea. Cheeseman at the front, Moriarty at the back. Neil James there winning a bit of a duel that time though. Oliver, Crandon runs into Mark Davis. But Newbridge still have it. Paul Williams. And was there a knock on? Yes, indeed there was. So Swansea put in on the Newbridge 22, just inside it. The control from Moriarty, Dacey. Miss out a man, Richards. Miss out another man to Titley. Titley over the 22. Breaks back inside, looking for support. But good covering by Newbridge that time. Mark Titley, 4 tries to his credit for Swansea this season. Ranson once again with an important defensive throw-in. Moriarty cleanly. Dacey, a miss move, bit of razzmatazz, and it's picked up by Mark Davis. And a penalty with Newbridge going over the top. Now what's skipper Mark Davis going to do? He's decided that 3 points will do him nicely from the boot of Roger Blythe. Roger Blythe, fairly simple kick for a man of his standing. 6 caps, of course, for Wales, and a holder of the Swansea points record. Simple as pie, 3 points, and Swansea go into the lead by 11 points to 4. Paul Williams getting the game underway once again. That won't go the required distance, I'm afraid. But here comes Moriarty. Paul, that is. Cheeseman, Robert Jones. Lovely pass to Dacey. Dacey on a half break. David Richards, Kevin Hopkins. Going down towards the 22 and looking. Swansea go in for the ball and they have it. Malcolm Dacey, seems to be a bit of a crowd there, queuing up. Mark Davis in the corner, a lovely try by Swansea, and there's a bit of a fight going on the field as well.
From the kick-off, Paul Williams, the ball curls back, but watch for good refereeing by Norland. You see all the players seem to stop and say he hasn't gone 10 yards, but he's playing the advantage law, and there's Paul Moriarty on the charge. Lays the ball back here, and the rest is superb play. Just watch this movement here now. Malcolm Dacey, a lovely half break, and there's David Richards on his shoulder. Kevin Hopkins putting his head back. Somebody's trying to trip him up there, number 7, but he's kept going. And he's looking for support. Where's it coming from? There's the flank forward going in, setting the ball up. Swansea getting there in strength, winning the ball. Robert Jones going on the narrow side, and I thought for one moment there would be too many players there, but Mark Davis gathers the loose pass, does very, very well, and he goes over for a magnificent Swansea try.
Swansea fairly comfortably in the lead by 15 points to 4 with 8 minutes of the second half gone. Just inside the Swansea 10-metre line. Both teams having varied their line-out tactics in the afternoon. Moriarty, good two-handed take, clean ball, Dacey. Richards, Titley, Cleverly done, back inside. Kevin Hopkins, back inside to Richards, and Richards looking on the far side for Roger Blythe, and attempted to take it one-handed, much to his cost that time.
Swansea moving the ball ever so well, and a lovely pass by David Richards going wide, and Titley cuts inside his man. Now it's all about support play here. There's number 12, the centre, supporting. There's number 13, the other centre, supporting. And it's just this final pass with Roger Blythe coming up well, and he knocks it on there.
He waits for the control of James at number 8. Oliver. Williams, miss out a man. Oh, that was a bit of a wine room to Titley, and away goes Titley, and there is nobody to stop him. 10 metres, 22-metre line, and finally the try line. Mark Titley, his 5th try of the season.
Newbridge win the ball, but they're overcomplicating things. They're doing dummy scissors. It's a wild pass really by Paul Williams there, and Titley gets it, and once he's beaten Paul Williams, it's a gift for a man of his pace. He's got the field, the whole length of the field in front of him with nobody to stop him. But isn't it nice to see his 2 centres running with him? I think hoping for a pass there. David Richards saying, but Titley is going, nobody's going to stop him, and that's a gift for Mark Titley, a man of his pace.
But the try was a simple one, the conversion too. In front of the post, Roger Blythe, an extra 2 points. The 17 points separating the two sides. Swansea well in command. Trevor Cheeseman, England under 23. Oliver and Newbridge have possession, but they're caught in midfield. Robert Jones to David Richards to Kevin Hopkins. And he's got support back inside for the man who gave him the ball, David Richards, and here we go. Another try, quite possibly. Moriarty looking for support. Howells is back there. Tries to turn the corner, Crandon. Newbridge quite prepared to run the ball. Oh, the kick into wide open spaces. Titley's back there for Swansea. Comes back inside. And runs immediately into a tackle. A bit disappointing, that. Oliver, the game still in motion. Crandon wanting to have a go. The pick up by Moriarty. David Richards to Danny Williams. Oh, it's like 7-a-side at the moment. Robert Jones to David Richards. Well, suggesting a high tackle from Goodfellow, but Swansea still have it. Cheeseman. And waiting for the forwards. Swansea should have it. Robert Jones. For Hutchins, the hooker. What's he doing there? Mark Davis. Clive Lawling intelligently allowing play to go on. The kick by Crandon. And Swansea having to chase once again. Danny Williams. Looking for the support from Roger Blythe. Interception. And away goes Chris Phillips, being heavily chased by Mark Davis. Is he going to get there? Oh my God, well done, the flanker, but the game still in motion. Danaher, and it's still going. Well, what a marvellous period of play that was.
And you're going to have to pay tribute to both sides. They're trying to play entertaining football in these difficult conditions. Danny Williams with the ball, and it's always Roger Blythe on the lookout here, but Chris Phillips intercepts the ball, and it's odds on that he's going to run from the halfway line and score. But Mark Davis shows tremendous pace for a flanker. I thought he was going to get into the corner, but Mark Davis has chased him and deserves to catch the winger. Tremendous play by the Swansea captain.
Ian Danaher jumping at 2 for Newbridge. Called into action immediately as Robert Jones gets the ball out to Dacey. Hopkins, Richards, clean, lovely passing. Titley. And here goes Titley. On the far side of Hopkins, and he's going to call the winger into action once again, surely. Away goes Moriarty, trying to find his brother again. A lovely pick-up, though, by Robert Jones. And Peter Goodfellow doing some excellent covering work for Newbridge, just getting a hand to it. Good applause from the Swansea crowd. And the rain coming in from Mumbles. As Oliver waits for the feed from his Newbridge pack. Paul Williams. I think you better go there. But the kick was fine. Newbridge, Chris Jarman at the front, James at the back. Jones under pressure, does well. Oh, and here they come, the All Whites on the charge. Malcolm Dacey, taken by Richards to Blythe, to Titney, up towards the 10-metre line, and he's going to have a sprint for it, and he's beaten his man. Inside him, Kevin Hopkins. Oh, superb rugby from the All Whites.
And what a feast of rugby Swansea are serving up this afternoon. And from behind their own line, here goes Malcolm Dacey. He's willing to take the opposition on, showing adventure, showing skill, and the rest is lovely handling coming up here at in the next moment. There's David Richards having to jump up, but he does manage to get the pass in. And when it eventually comes to Mark Titley, just look at this. Paul Williams is covering him, and he's no slouch, but Titley goes on the outside and shows tremendous pace. Look at him leaving Paul Williams for dead. Magnificent bit of running by Mark Titley, and there's Kevin Hopkins supporting well, striding over for what is another wonderful Swansea try.
So after the splendid try by Kevin Hopkins, scoring his 6th try of the season, Roger Blythe. And up there in the mist it went over. So there's the difference, 27 points to 4, some real Christmas fare being served up by Swansea. So Oliver just outside his own 22. Nice to see Newbridge getting 1 try in response. Roger Blythe takes it cleanly and is motoring. Moriarty, the captain, Mark Davis, back inside the colcloth. Robert Jones, Dacey. And the pick-up by Moriarty, and that's his 3rd try of the afternoon.
Swansea in full flight this afternoon, especially the veteran Roger Blythe. There he's off, looking like a 2-year-old running there. And good support play from the forwards. They've been outstanding this afternoon, especially Mark Davis, the captain. They've supported well, and they fully deserve the tries they've had. Dacey puts a high kick in here, and I thought that Newbridge had the move covered, but a loose tap back, and there's Paul Moriarty going over for his hat-trick, and that's just reward for Paul Moriarty and the Swansea pack of forwards.
Blythe, a fairly simple matter. And another 2 points. And that indeed is the final whistle, with Swansea having run out emphatic winners, scoring 6 tries to Newbridge's 1.